2021. So with this small background, I would now move towards the speaker. And I have a pleasure in asking a question to Mr. Vinod Aggarwal, Managing Director, CEO, Volvo Eicher Commercial Vehicles Limited. Apart from the context that the transforming Indian commercial vehicle, I also would like to request Mr. Vinod Aggarwal to dwell upon the opportunities, what you see in the CV manufacturers in India and also the associated challenges. Over to you, Mr. Vinod Aggarwal.
Morning, and thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to speak in this forum. As you rightly pointed out, that CV industry is one of the very large industry in the country and in the world also. We have got a very respectable position. And as you all know, CV industry is a cyclical industry. It's up and down, and it's always on the upside for 3-4 years, then it drops. And as we have seen, even before the COVID, the industry was in the recession. In 1920 itself, the industry had started dropping before the COVID itself, and it was a major drop in 1920. And then, of course, COVID only worsened the position. Therefore, we had 3 very, very challenging years for the CV industry. But the good thing is now it's on the recovery path. So it's on the upcycle. So therefore, this industry now full of opportunities, and there is going to be recovery, and still there is huge gap with respect to the earlier peak. If you look at the earlier peak in the year 2018-19, the entire industry, including exports, it was around 1.1 million. And out of that, of course, the heavy-duty trucks, which form the major portion in the value terms, that was close to 300,000. That 300,000, which is the major portion of the industry, heavy-duty trucks, that is still down to around 165,000. So therefore, it is much away from the earlier peak. And total for the full year against 1.1 million, including exports, last year the figure was around 840,000. So therefore, it is still far. And if you exclude the smaller commercial vehicles, which are 2 ton or even sub 2 ton, then also the industry size against 557,000 in 18-19, it is down to 344,000. So therefore, I think there is a huge potential to grow the industry. And further, if you analyze the past, whenever there is a recession, and after recession, when the recovery happens, this industry touches a new peak. And that we have seen. If you can go back in the last 3-4 cycles, and you will see that every time it touches a new peak. Therefore, I have a firm belief that this time also the recovery has started now. So we are going to end up with a new peak. New peak means that if earlier in 18-19 it was 1.1 million, or heavy-duty trucks were close to 300,000, therefore we are going to see that new peak, and which is of course still far away. If you look at the last year's figures, and now from where this belief is coming that it will touch a new peak, I think there are 3-4 things which we should keep in mind. This commercial vehicle industry, all these trucks or buses, they are mostly the business assets, and basically everyone sweated these assets, and because of that, the productivity and the costs, they are very important. And due to that, all the big fleet operators, they change their trucks after 5 to 6 years. Suppose, for example, if a truck runs around 120,000 kilometers in a year, and in 5 years, if it has to run 600,000 or 700,000 trucks, it means it calls for replacement after 5 to 6 years. Now, if you look at the past 2-3 years, because of recession and because of very negative sentiments, that replacements have not happened. Therefore, the huge demand is going to come from the pent-up replacement demand. So that is the biggest opportunity in this industry, that the replacements are going to happen. And replacements are not only because of the need of replacement. The other major driver of replacement is the productivity, because the new trucks which have come in after BS6, they are better designed, they are modern trucks, and they deliver much better productivity and lower cost of operations. Because of that itself, more replacements are called for. And the second is, the government has very strong program on the infrastructure, and you have seen that the type of commitments that are being made in the annual allocations for the government of India. They are very serious. Number of projects that are being announced, new roads, new infrastructure that is being constructed. So therefore, if you have to construct new infrastructure of that order, if you are going to spend more than 100 lakh crores in next 4 5 years, and this budget itself, there is a allocation of more than 25,000 crores. It means you need to move all that cement, all that steel. You need all those construction trucks. You need all that, and then you see the various other niche requirements. For example, in coal mining, if there is a lot of dependence on coal for our power needs, and we are in shortage of coal. Therefore, you need to do more and more mining in the coal mines, and you need more and more trucks for removing overburden from the coal mines. So therefore, there is huge push coming from the infrastructure projects and also our various other economy requirements. And the third is the economy is also on the upcycle. Economy is GDP growth. We are likely to get 8% or 9%. And India is a growing economy. It's one of the best economies in the world. And due to that, the commercial vehicle fortunes are always linked to the economic fortunes. Therefore, if the economy is growing, commercial vehicle has to grow. So I think there are huge opportunities. At the same time, there are challenges as well. But of course, I'm sure those challenges will be met.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Aggarwal.